The Alliance for Equality of Blind Canadians is pleased to bring you training on a variety of assistive technologies. Please like and subscribe.
Welcome to Tech Training Tuesday on this March 3rd, 2026. It's Marcy Yale, and this is our tech drop-in for the month of March. And before we start with questions from our current participants, just a little bit of an interesting update on the use of security codes and how to get them easily. If you are on your iPhone and you are filling out a form on a website and it sends you a security code, or if you're in an app and it sends you a security code via text message or email, when you double tap on the code edit field to insert that code, if you've already received the message, there will be a copy from messages comment above your on-screen keyboard. So it's basically in the middle sort of the on-screen above the on-screen keyboard, and it will say copy code from messages. And if you double tap on that, it will take the code from the message and put it right where it needs to be. And then you can flick to verify or submit or whatever the term is that they've used. It also works from email if they are sending a code via email, but your email app has to be open. So it has to be in your app switcher already open. And sometimes what I'm wondering is chances are the mailbox where the code is coming probably has to be in focus. So if you're sitting in like I don't know, one of your accounts and it's not the account where that's coming to, it might not work. And the message can also be deleted by this process, and the email can also be deleted by this process, but neither of those happens 100% of the time. But definitely, it's really easy to copy one of those codes into the app or website. So there's a little tip that came from a discussion that happened before this recording started. And now we will go to any questions from the people in the room right now. So I'm all for any other questions.
Oh, if you're forwarding a message to
Yes,
somebody, that does it matter whether it's an email or whether it's a text? Do you have to word?
they're two totally different things. So an email message you would forward by going to the More Actions button at the bottom, and you flick through, there's reply, reply all, and then forward. And then you
Yes.
double. Okay, so that's how you forward an email. And on a text message, you would put your cursor on the message itself and flick down to more and double tap on more and flick to the right. And there's the message, and then there will be a delete button and then a forward button. And in both cases, it sets your cursor, or it should, in the to field so that you can tell it where you want to forward the message. If you have Outlook on the computer, on a Windows machine, and you want to add or edit a signature, signatures are under the options collection of things, settings for Outlook. And to get there, you go to the inbox is the safest place. Doesn't matter what inbox you're in. If you have 5 accounts, doesn't matter. You do Alt F for the file menu. You go up to options because it's faster. You can go down to options, but it's like three up and it's about eight down. So hit enter on options and you land on general, which is not where you want to be. You want to go to mail. So you arrow down one and it goes to mail. And I'm doing it as we talk, and it's just taking for a while here. And then you tab to signatures. And that's about six or so tabs. And it says signatures dot dot dot, which means that it's a dialog box that you can hit enter on. And then you land on an OK button, which is not what you want. So you tab to select signature to edit list. And that's where my issues started. However, let me just see if I can. Okay, so what you need to do, because when you get to that list, it may not show you a signature to edit. But if you tab to the email accounts, which is about two or three tabs after that signature list, and arrow down to the email account that you want to eventually attach a signature to. Arrow down to that email account and then shift tab back to that signature list. And if you've got existing signatures that you want to edit, you can just arrow down to that signature. So, let's say we're going to edit a signature. So I've got a signature that's open that I'm going to edit. So then I'm going to tab once I've selected that signature, and I can delete it. I can create a new signature. And if you do that, the first thing it asks for is a name for it. And then once it's named, then it adds it to your signature list, and then you can go edit the thing. This dialog box has tons of different um, options. You can make your signatures really pretty. You can change the font. You can change the color. You can add hyperlinks. You can do all sorts of things. But what you really probably want to do first when you are going to do a signature, what I would recommend is create it somewhere else. So create it in Word or create it in an email message, get it the way you like it, and then copy it so that it's on your clipboard. And then you can tab a bunch of times, and I'm not kidding, because there's a rename button. So you can rename an existing signature. Then there's the email account that you want to deal with. Then there's what signature you have on new messages that are sent from this particular email account. And I'm just going to try. And there we go. Okay. So then it suggests what signatures do you want to do for a reply and forward from that email address. And then it starts with the font stuff. So there's the font name and the type and the color and the size and a whole bunch of different things. You can bold it, you can do all sorts of things. But as I said, my suggestion is to create the signatures somewhere else and then copy it. And you keep tabbing until the field after hyperlink. Hyperlink is the field that the option before the signature block. And once you hit that, you know you're coming up to the signature block. And when you start, if it's a new one, it'll be blank. But if it's an existing signature, it will be there in its glory, however it was. And if you want to replace it, select all doesn't seem to work properly or consistently. So what I would suggest is make sure you're at the top, do Control Home, and then do Control Shift and then delete. And that will clear out the signature, and then you can pop in the one that you've just created. So I'm just gonna, while I'm sitting here, I want to get rid of something on the signature that I'm sitting on, but it's not going to let me. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. And then you tab once and you're at the OK button. If you accidentally tab past that signature block where you're going to put your signature and you shift tab, you're going to run into something that says Get Signature Templates. Just shift tab again and you'll be back at the edit box. You hit OK, and then you have to go and hit OK again because remember you started with the mail options thing. So the best way to get to the second OK is to shift tab because you're closer to the beginning than you are to the end of that whole dialogue. And you hit OK, and that should do it.
Thank you for checking out our content. To learn more about the Alliance for Equality of Blind Canadians, please visit www.blindcanadians.ca. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.